If you want to learn how to clean, jerk, and snatch more weight, this is the video for you because this is part 3 of my 3-part video series of how to snatch, clean, and jerk more weight. We're gonna talk about the first pull, second pull, and third pull. You've probably heard these things mentioned, but maybe don't know which one's which. Today, by the end of this video, you will have a deep understanding of what the first pull should look like and what it entails, what the second pull looks like and how you can improve it, and what the third pull looks like. If you have not watched videos 1 and 2, I will make sure to link in the description and the top comment below. If you have not watched videos 1 and 2 and want to actually have a deep understanding of how to snatch, clean, and jerk more weight, go watch those videos first and then come back here. In this third and final video, we're talking about bringing it all together with movement patterns. And just as a reminder, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you go to WODprep.com/lift and I'll give you a free weightlifting ratio calculator that we've developed after coaching thousands and thousands of athletes so that you understand where your weightlifting numbers stack up to your overall strength. So there's a lot of calculations based on your back squat 1 rep max, and you can see if strength is your limiting factor, it's gonna show you, but for most of you, it's probably gonna show you that your movement patterns and positions, AKA technique, are what's holding you back. So go to WODprep.com/lift, enter your name and email, and we'll send you that calculator completely free so that you can figure out whether you need to work on strength or technique. Because you can have strength, which a lot of you probably already have. You can also have the positions. With a PVC or an empty barbell, you're like, I got all those positions figured out, no problem. But do you have the ability to move through those positions with weight and create good movement patterns? That is what we are covering today. So let's dig into the first pull. Again, as we did in video number 2, this video we're gonna primarily focus on the snatch. That's because we don't have time to go over the snatch, clean, and jerk, all 3 pulls and positions and things like that. We find that the biggest area for improvement is usually expressed in the snatch. A lot of people have a lot of room to go when it comes to snatching, but as you walk through this and as we go through all of the pulls, you can apply these same principles to the clean and the jerk, and actually have another video, something down the road that will help you get all of these movements better. First, let's break down what each pull entails, and then I'm gonna teach you what order to learn them in. The first pull is simply going from ground to hang. So if you remember the positions that we covered in the previous video, the ground or the floor or the setup is the beginning of the lift. So the first pull is moving from the barbell and the plates from the floor to about our knee, which is the hang position. The second pull is going from the hang to the power position. Remember that power position is kind of the missing piece. We talked about the puzzle piece of weightlifting, or the puzzle of weightlifting in the last video. Well, usually the power position is that missing piece that a lot of people can't seem to find, but when you do find it, your snatch, clean, and jerk goes to the roof. And then last but not least, we have the power position to the receiving position. This is taking the barbell from that power position and then receiving it where we can then finish the lift. So with the jerk, I might be receiving it in the split. With the snatch, it's usually receiving it in the overhead squat, clean front squat. You get it. However, the way that we teach it is actually from the top down. I know I'm drawing this arrow upwards, but the third pull, a lot of people think, oh, it's a third pull, I should learn that third. We like to teach power to receiving first, and then we'll move on from hang to power and then ground to hang. So with that, let's start by covering the third pull, and I'm bringing in my head coach, Dr. CJ DePalma, and our world qualifying coach, Savannah, who's also head of customer support, and they are going to teach you the intricacies of going from power to receiving the third pull.
Okay, so she's gonna dip down into position 1 or power position. Okay, she's gonna stand, toes, shrug, high pull. Perfect. Elbows are above the wrist, knuckles are down. She's keeping the elbow above the wrist as long as she can. Savannah's gonna demo the lift dynamically, so she's gonna get into that power position and pause, and then she's going to just do a snatch high pull. Good, perfect. So from this position, Savannah's gonna take it into what we call a muscle snatch. So she's gonna take power position, she's gonna pause, and then from there, she's gonna do a muscle snatch. So all the way up, good. Couple things to think about there. Same thing happened, hips, knees, ankles extended, she shrugged, she high pulled. Her elbows stayed above her wrist as long as possible. The knuckles were down, the bar stayed close, and at the very end, She just turned it straight over, okay? She punched it to the ceiling. She's active in her shoulders. She's pushing up. Her elbows are locked out and she's very stiff here. Okay, so next we're gonna go into our power snatch. And the only difference here is from that position, we're gonna widen our feet, okay? And we're gonna drop under the bar, okay? And so basically we do a power snatch because we can't pull the bar any higher. And this is how we kind of sneak under the bar to give it a catch, okay? So nothing changes. All the same focuses happen, all right? All the same orders and all the pieces happen. High pulls, and then once we're here, there's just a turnover and drop. And you're gonna see her feet are gonna go down and out into that receiving position, and her arms are gonna lock out and finish in the same position, just with her hips slightly back. So go ahead and demonstrate that, and go. Right, and you can see that as soon as her feet hit, her arms lock. And so this is gonna be a little bit challenging for most. You might hit here and you might kind of press it out, but what we want to focus on is focusing on that timing and that everything kind of freezes all at once.
So now that you know how to go from that power position into the receiving position, it's time to work on the second pull, because remember, we're going from the top down. That second pull is getting the bar from our knees into that power position. And yes, we're gonna bring back in our 2 weightlifting coaches, and they're gonna teach you how to go from the hang to power properly.
Now we're going to talk about how to move back and forth between power position and the hang position, which we just learned. CJ is going to stand tall, go to his power position dip, slide his hips back, and slide his bar down to the knee. Now, it gets a little bit trickier on the way up. The main things to think about as you're moving from the hang position back to the power position, which is that position, remember, that we always want to reach before we jump, is that he's pressing through his legs, elevating his torso and his bar together. So some common errors that can happen here are pulling your bar first without elevating your torso. Stand tall. Next error.
Next error that I like to focus on is, or avoid, is pushing the legs back as you elevate, and the shoulders get further over the bar. And so from this position, very challenging to jump.
So CJ is going to start at the hang by dipping into his power position, finding his hang position. Then from here, remember, we want to pass through that power position on the way up. So CJ, hang position, power position. Now he's going to jump to elevate his bar, power snatch, landing in his power receiving position.
Now that you know how to go from hang to power to receiving, it's time to get that barbell all the way to the starting position, which for the snatch and the clean is the floor, the ground. And then for the jerk, it's starting in that front rack position. Obviously, like I mentioned for this video, we're talking specifically about the snatch, but you can apply this across all of the lifts. Now let's have Coach Savannah and CJ come in here and teach you the ground to hang, AKA the first pull.
What we're looking for in this first pull from the floor, or push with your legs as I like to think, is that your shoulders and your hips are rising together. So if you see CJ break the floor again, you'll notice there was no change, and you can set it back down. No change. Those 2 points are going to be moving together. We want to make sure that we have our weight balanced through our whole entire foot so that as we're rising from the ground and as we're pushing with our super strong legs, that's going to help us maintain that angle. CJ, here, can I have you break the floor again? Watch his shoulders and his hips come to the knee, above the knee. Now here, what's this position? Hang position, something you're very familiar with. And then we know from the hang, the next point that we want to reach is our power position. So here you can see that is the point that CJ's shoulders are going to start to rise higher than his hips as he gets ready to be set up for this final part before his triple extension. I'm going to have CJ show you a full lift from the floor. First, CJ is going to set up, remember, balance through the foot, hips down, shoulders up, tight through his lats. He's pulling his bar towards him. Gaze is forward. Break the floor. Angle did not change. He's still looking forward, pressing through his feet, even weight through his feet as he's standing. To the knee, above the knee. And then from here, CJ is going to power snatch. Notice that CJ did reach that power position on his way up through his full lift.
So now that we've covered the 3 pulls, first, second, and third, or third, second, and first, Now I want you in the comments below, what are you missing? If you had to identify one of the pulls that you feel like you are lacking the most. We've covered lots of ground, and now you have a really good idea of which positions you need to focus on and how to practice those movement patterns to get from position to position. But if you're someone like me, rather than having the individual ingredients, you'd rather have the recipe. And that's what I want to talk about right now. If you want to work directly with WODprep to help fix your positions and learn the techniques and movement patterns to actually move the barbell with confidence so that you're not afraid of dropping under the weight, so that you're not afraid when the barbell gets heavy that you're going to get injured. If you want to increase your mobility so that catching that overhead squat feels totally fine. If you want to learn step by step, including the drills, the movements, the exact sets, the exact reps, and have Coach Savannah and CJ help you every step of the way to improve your snatch, but also what we haven't covered is the clean and the jerk. If you want help with all three of those movements, then you should stay tuned because we are opening enrollment to WODprep Weightlifting. WODprep Weightlifting is a course that will help you learn the snatch, clean, and jerk every step of the way from the top down, just like we did in this video series, except it goes into greater detail where you'll learn the exact reps and sets and drills that you should do to help you learn each different position of the snatch, clean, and jerk, and exactly how to move through those positions, aka the first, second, and third pull. If you want help with all of that and increasing your mobility and reducing your fear of the barbell so that you can finally feel confident when it comes time to hit that 1 rep max snatch or that 1 rep max clean and jerk, if you want to feel the confidence and you want to have everything laid out for you in a step-by-step manner, then stay tuned. Because like I said, WODprep Weightlifting is opening for enrollment. And inside that course, you will find not only all of the weightlifting stuff, but we're throwing in a ton of extra bonuses, including mobility bonuses that are going to help you unlock your shoulder mobility, your T-spine mobility, your hip mobility, your ankle flexibility, so that you can get into all of these positions no problem. And we also have special bonuses that are going to help you fix your mindset so that you're no longer afraid of the barbell. Because I think that's what holds a lot of people back. Is yeah, they understand all this information, but they're kind of afraid that they're going to get hurt. Well, we help you fix that so that you don't have the fear, you have the mobility, and then yes, you have the positions, you have the pulls, you know everything that you need to do. And the best thing about it is that we've specifically designed this course so that it fits easily into your training. So you're not abandoning your CrossFit gym and then saying, I'm doing WODprep weightlifting. No, you do your normal CrossFit gym programming and then you add in WODprep weightlifting as a little bit of accessory work on top. It's like a cherry on top. It's the final missing piece of the puzzle that's going to finally help you unlock your strength. If you want more information on that, when it's finally available and open for enrollment, make sure you've opted in and you've signed up for the Weightlifting Calculator. If you did that, then I'm going to send you an email as soon as we open the doors for enrollment. We will have limited spaces available because we try to keep our coach to athlete ratio really low. If you're not interested at all, that's totally fine. You can use all of the things that we talked about in the last 3 videos and all of my other free content, and you can definitely improve your snatch, clean, and jerk. And I hope that this video series did that for you. But if rather than the individual ingredients, you want that entire recipe book and you want it laid out step by step and it's very affordable, then please stay tuned because WODprep Weightlifting will be open soon. Depending on when you're watching this video, it might already be open so that you will be able to find WODprep Weightlifting and see if it's the right fit for you. If you are excited for this, leave a comment below, maybe an additional comment on top of the other comment you already left, and let me know you're excited. Let me know what questions you have. If there's anything maybe holding you back from actually following a step-by-step program, just ask them in the comments below and I'll make sure that my team and I are in there answering any of your questions or any hesitations. I hope that you like this video series and you got a lot of value out of it. My goal here at WODprep is to provide free content that you never have to pay me a single dime to get a lot of great development as an athlete. But obviously, if you want to get our next level of service and work with a WODprep coach to help you improve your weightlifting, that's why we are creating WODprep Weightlifting, and that's why it's going to be available for enrollment here soon. So with that, I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments, and I can't wait to see you in the next video on YouTube where I'm going to help you go from scale to RX.